Hey everybody, it's Steve, the Wolfpack again. Everybody says, well, why you sound the Wolfpack? Well, because the fact is I got 4 German Shepherds. The reason I got 4 is I don't want 5. And the next reason is because the fact is they take care of me and I take care of them. And you know what? No matter what I do, no matter what I say or what I look like, they always care about me. And they never say anything bad about me to my face. If they do, I don't hear it. Today's going to be a different format because the fact is I'm going to get to the point and I'm going to actually say exactly what people around the world should be saying right now, or all Americans should be saying right now, but are too damn scared to say it. Yes, I said it. Too damn scared to say it. Because the fact is they're so into being politically correct, or so worried about what other people will think about them, or so worried about their status, or how it's going to affect their status, or their status in the community. Well, I don't care about all that. What I do care is that you're an American citizen first. You have been born here, and you have taken the actual liberties, and you have been taking everything that American has to offer you to actually create a better world for yourself. You've done that. But it goes with some responsibilities. So let's go with this and let's go fast. All right, first of all, I'm gonna go with Trump. Okay, Trump, it's time for you to get up off your ass. It is time for us to stop going to every other damn country and actually going around and playing PC, nicey. Okay, it's time for you to get your butt in the office, take off your shoes, take off your tie, do whatever you got to do, but get some work done. Get something done with a sense of purpose. Move with a sense of purpose. Do something, make something, and get off, stop making speeches telling me how great we're going to be and how we're going to be winning. Well, Mr. Trump, right now, we're winning small damn battles and we're losing the large ones. Because the fact is, you cannot, and your people that you have put into the office cannot stay out of damn trouble long enough for us to get anything done. The whole nation is waiting on whatever you have started with the Russians, with the Clintons, with the DNC, or whatever. Okay, fine. Get on it. Make a decision either way, and let's move on. Please tell me we're not going to have 4 more years of the same crap over and over and over again with nothing ever being proved. Squash the conspiracy theories if they are. Hold those responsible that are sending them. Hold those responsible that are actually unmasking people or whatever you think that they're saying that is not right, or whoever who is breaking the law, put their ass in jail. I do not care how much money they make. I do not care what their name is. I do not care where they come from. I do not care who their family is. I don't care if their family comes from Kennebunkport or Boston, Massachusetts. I don't care. No one is above the law. Apply the law to everyone as equally as you would to everyone else. Yes, and it's your job to make sure that we stay on top of that. I know you have hurdles. You have the Congress. You have the judicial system. You have a lot more enemies, and you know what? The reason why is because you made them when you ran for president. Now the fact of the matter is that okay, fine. It's time for us to start kicking ass and taking names, and you know what? Start identifying these peoples that are stopping the world or our America from getting better in areas that are concerning the people. Get shit or get off the pot, Trump. And I don't really care what affiliation everybody is or whatever, because I'll be honest with you. And you know, I thought my father would be mad at me because the fact is I didn't vote. And here's the reason why I didn't vote: because I am tired of voting for the lesser two evils. I didn't think either one of these individuals that they had running could be able to do the job and run them. I'm starting to believe it's Brad. I cannot imagine the world with Hillary Clinton and all the scandals that would hit her during her presidency. She would never get anything done. I can't imagine Trump being president and actually getting anything done as well, because he's behind the learning curve on being president in the politics. And this is what we're experiencing today. Fear. Your number one job in the White House, Mr. President, is this: you protect the people, protect the American citizen. That is your number one job. Everything else behind that is secondary. Your job is provide the protection for the American people. Right now, you're not doing that. We have individuals who are living in fear. We have individuals that are confused about our government. We have individuals that are confused to hell of what the hell is really going on. We don't even know what investigation we are on today or who we're investigating today. It's easier to name the people that are not being investigated than the ones that are being investigated. Tell me that's a government that we want to live under. Tell me that a person wants to know that every 4 or 5 days the enemy, sworn enemy of ours, is launching missiles because we told them not to. I don't think they have our best interests at heart. So what if? What happens? Does it have to be like Japan, who negotiated us right to the end before they actually bombed Pearl Harbor? What do we have to do to understand that we are under a threat from these people and take it serious? Second thing is we've got a religion, whatever you want to call it. We have a religion, a race, or whatever the hell they call themselves, that are dead set on killing American people, especially if you're Christian. They don't care about anything else but killing Christians. They will say to you, they will want to kill a Christian. They stated they want to take over the world. They want the world to be under Muslim and Sharia law. I'm sorry for those individuals who don't want to listen to the truth. I am sorry that you guys can't see it. I am sorry that you actually look at these individuals and say, you know what, well, they didn't really mean it. I'm sorry that there are people saying, well, most of them were born in the United States. Well, you're damn right they were. It scared the shit out of you because they're being converted right here underneath their nose. Take a look at yourself and let your numbers do the walking on your little internet there instead of looking at social media, and actually look up on Google how many mosques there are in your state. Well, anybody can have a church anywhere. Well, shut up. No, you can't. Not if you're blowing shit up and ISIS is claiming responsibility for it. Works two ways. Accountable. You need to be held accountable of your own actions. You would need to stop and running from the Congress. You need to stop running from the damn circuit court. You need to stop running from people and actually just trying to buy your way out of it or making a great deal where we're better off. When in the present, we're not. Right now, today, we are worse off than we've ever been as far as our defense, as far as us protecting the American people. Congress. How many freaking hearings have we had from Congress in the last 3 years? I don't know, but I can't count that high. Now, we have a hearing on everything. We have a hearing on whether he sat on the toilet long enough today or once somebody took too much long time. We have a well, let's go to a hearing. Let's have a hearing. Well, let me tell you, all these damn hearings we've had over the last 4 years, or wherever, how many, there ain't been one damn thing accomplished out of it. A hearing can get up there and a person can tell that they broke the law. Yes, I broke the law this way. It can be disclosed in this hearing that they broke the law. And they should be further investigated. But no, nothing comes out of the hearing. They get to go on back to their job and do their job like nothing ever happened. Or get fired from their job, but they really don't care because they're going to get a government pension for the rest of their life and better insurance than you and me. Lord knows how much money they made while they were in there using that position. So really, they don't care if they get fired or not because you know what? They're going to be set up for the rest of their life. So are the kids. So Congress, I'm speaking especially to Mr. Trey Gowdy, Mr. Chavez, okay? It's time for you to stop grandstanding and stop talking and start looking like, you know what, you want to be a president of the United States or your shit don't stink. And it's actually, instead of making people look bad, stick to the facts. And if you're proven right, then do something about it. Stop grandstanding. We're tired of that shit because every time you get up there and make a damn good speech, you put somebody down or whatever, everybody knows there ain't nothing going to happen to them. Trey Gowdy. You may run through the ringer or whatever you're doing. Heck, I still think you probably got to deal with it. I'm going to run you through the ringer, but I'm going to find you not guilty. Chavez the same way. Grandstand, get up there and get your off peacock feathers all hacked up there and start going off on people. But you know what? You ain't done a damn thing, so shut the hell up. Congress, get off your ass. Let's start passing some bills. Let's start moving shit faster than a snail's pace. Let's stop backing up the House and the Senate on stupid shit that you know what you should have signed off 4 years ago, and you're still talking about it. We don't want to vote on it because we don't like it, so we're going to bury it at the bottom of the pile. I know a lot of people that work, and I guarantee you one thing, everybody that I know that works in the Secretary of Business or works in an office, if they kept doing that shit, they had their ass fired. Because sooner or later, somebody's going to find out. Why is it good for us that we get held accountable for those kind of actions and our government does not? Congress, you have a very big responsibility because the fact is that you are there, period, to make law, period. And once you make a law, to pass that law with amendments or whatever it takes necessary for you to do. But the fact of the matter is you make law and you pass laws for the good of American people. That's it. You represent a bunch of people back home in your state. So you're supposed to actually think about these individuals when you're actually voting. Instead of running a poll and seeing how your individuals in your significant area thinks by a poll and going by the popular majority, going by the popular vote. Well, I don't know about you, Mr. Congress, but you know what? Have you ever thought in your slap dead stupid ass mind that you know what? Maybe everybody didn't get polled. Case example was when the polls come out for the presidential election, Hillary Clinton running hands down. The polls were wrong. Because you know what? You're not polling the right people. So actually get down there when they say you're going home to deal with your constituents, come home and actually talk to them. Instead of sitting out spending all the time that you have off on a darn yacht over there in the Gulf of Mexico over there, partying your ass off when there are people over here trying to talk to your ass. You see it in town halls all the time now. You know what? People get up in town halls and they're booing the shit out of them and they won't even let them talk because you know what? They're sick and tired of you guys' games. We're sick and tired of you not doing anything. I want you to do your job. Do what you're there to elected for and do what you get paid to do, period. If it's past controversial laws or if it's something that's going to affect your state constitution, stand up and say that. Don't be worried about your popularity or if you're going to be able to run for president next year. Do your job. Fifth and Ninth Circuit. Who the hell are you? Tell me why somebody from Hawaii or from Seattle, Washington can tell the United States how we're going to run the rest of our country. I don't want to know that a person in Seattle, Washington can pass a law or not pass a law that affects me in Texas. If you make a decision in the Ninth Circuit Court, it should just actually be the Ninth Circuit Court. That's it. Same way with the Fifth. I don't want a person from Hawaii telling me what I can and can't do. I won't eat something besides pineapples and spam. Get out of the way. Remember your lane. Remember what you're there for. The Lady of Justice is blind for a reason. She's got a blindfold over her face in case some of you people don't remember. Why? Because justice is blind. That means, what does it mean? It means the fact is it does not appear what color, creed, whatever the heck you are, your political beliefs, where you come from, how much money you make, who your daddy is, who your mama is. It does not make any difference. You're still held accountable to the law like everybody else. You have no privilege underneath the law. You have no privilege underneath the law. Because you are who you are does not separate you from having to follow the law. If a person gets up in front of a court and says you got arrested for your first DUI and you've got to spend 30 days in jail and you know what, you're on probation for 2 years, we're going to take your license. That's pretty much the way it goes everywhere else in the real world. But if you're a congressman working in the Congress or the Ninth Circuit Court, Fifth Circuit Court, get that, you know what? They're going to slap your hand and say you're on probation, and guess what? If you don't get in trouble for you, we're going to sponge your record. So that way you can run for president someday. Court system, keep your damn opinions to yourself. Your personal opinions to your damn self. Okay? I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I don't care what your personal opinions are. I do not care which way you think is right and which way is wrong. What I care is that all you need to do is sit down, look at the case, and make a judgment on that case and the evidence presented. Period. I don't need you, okay, to run the ramifications for how this is going to affect the rest of the United States. It's not your job. Stay in your lane. Do not feel that you can actually change a law that's been on the books for years just because it comes up and you don't agree with it. This is not partisan. Obama started this ban whenever he was in office. The same 6 countries, the same ban. Nothing has changed. No wording has changed. It was implemented during the Obama administration. Now Trump has signed off on it and said, okay, I agree with that. Now everybody's got a hissy fit because you know what? We're actually deporting people. Or being deported people are actually is being reported, and we're actually looking like we're doing something. Well, don't you think that Obama wasn't doing it? It's just that nobody paid attention to it. But don't think that you can go in with the law on the books and change the law just because you don't like it and you're a judge and go to your work without no pants on underneath and think that you're God and you can just make laws like you want to. That's acting underneath the color of law, which is against the United States Constitution. You cannot use your position in any way, shape, form, or fashion to benefit you or decline others of benefits because of your position. You have to take a case and look at its merit, and you have to make a decision based on the evidence that's provided, period. There's no speculation. There's nothing allowed in a courtroom that would sway somebody's opinion one way or another about the politics of the ramifications of politics on this particular case. It doesn't matter. What matters is what the actual evidence says against this individual, and did they prove it? The burden of proof, okay, you're innocent until proven guilty. In this particular law, okay, it was innocent at first, but now because somebody else is implementing, now it's guilty. You can't change sides, people. You just can't pick and choose whichever damn laws you want to follow. It don't work like that. So get out of the way, court, because it's already identified by these two decisions that you've made. This should not even have been even a possibility of reaching the Supreme Court. This should have been handled a long time ago, and it should have been passed. It should have been go ahead and authorized to go ahead and go through. And if it was wrong, then we make some changes as we go. But at least we got something in place. And that's all we've ever asked for. We just put something in place so we can actually monitor these individuals until we figure out a better way. Simple. But no, we can't even allow that to do that. Can't even allow that to happen. Main Street Media, shut the hell up. I don't want, okay, you on my TV any longer. I have tried to the best of my ability to call my cable company and dump every one of you. From MSN to NBC to CNN to MSNBC, whatever place they call Main Street Media, I have asked them to remove it from my channel. Because the fact that it's no longer news anymore. There's no journalism anymore. Woodward and Bernstein are gone. That was the last journalist that I can remember that actually worked their salt. Maybe Walter Cronkite. But what you have on your MSN is you have actors who are actually in this place reporting the news off a teleprompter, saying what was told them to say. Did they do any research on this report they're giving? No. No, they didn't. They're just reading it off the teleprompter, worried about how much mousse is in their hair, and if their face is too shiny for the camera. Then they're going to put up these experts that put up there that say, you know what, we're going to have a conversation with it. Okay, great, let's have a conversation about a bunch of individuals. You don't even know who the hell they are, but they're some kind of contributor. And that was at one time they've done something with their life, which I don't know, and they won't explain it to you what they've done. They got a person on there that's an expert in terrorism, but he graduated from Cattle Gap, Egypt, in a freaking degree in basket weaving. That makes him a terrorist expert. Why? Because he read a book on terrorism. That's just not the only point. And plus, when you get these individuals up there, we want to discuss the point. We do not want to know your political feelings on this. We want to know how you see the evidence in front of you. Personally, I don't want to know how you feel. I don't know what you want to think. I want you to actually tell me what you think of the evidence provided from you, and I don't care about you. Shut up. Main Street Media right now is almost like watching The View. A bunch of people getting on there and talking about shit and yelling at each other. They have no idea what they're talking and yelling at each other about. Just so they can get their status on, because maybe they'll be a contributor again and they get paid again. So Main Street Media, shut up. Get off the channel, and you know what? Report actual news. Report actual news is actually going on right now. Right now, and I have timed it. It's on my whiteboard. I have timed it, and I have heard the rumors of censorship. Well, I don't know if it's censorship or not, but I'm reading that way, because you know what? Since everything happens, when everything happens bad in the world, it's not just America, but in the world, there is a 45-minute to an hour delay in the information getting on social media. I mean, on Main Street Media. When the details start coming out about 15 minutes after the accident happened from people who are actually there on social media. People say, well, social media, they're making up fake news. Well, you know what? Who the hell are you reading? If you're on social media, then guess what? Find out people that you can trust. Find out people like I do, not only concerned about the news, because they're there firsthand. They're getting it locally. But you get on the MSM, and they're not even mentioning it about it. They don't even mention if there's somebody, if you should be concerned in your area. They don't mention anything that helps the public out except for the fact that they're worried about ratings. One of the things I think that goes through in this hour process, number one, is that the producers are going to say, okay, we're going to interject this, but how's this going to affect our ratings? They wait until the ratings go up to a certain percentage of how much money they're going to make on it before they decide to report on it. And the next thing is that who else besides me remember when the government actually came in and said, you cannot film the Desert Storm. You cannot be with the frontline troops. You have to report from way back when the rear with the gear. We do not want the American people to see what war is all about because of Vietnam. Because the fact is, what happened in Vietnam, reporters were allowed up there, and the American people didn't like what they were seeing coming back. Got all butthurt because they got to see a war. Well, guess what? They don't change, they get worse. MSN, you are not. Any person on there, you are not special. You have no credence of being anything else but a newscaster. You were not a journalist. You are not someone who specifies in your is in a position that claims that you're a journalist. You have no credibility whatsoever because you're not a journalist, because the words that are put on that paper that you're reporting has been done by somebody else. I think I know the word. It's called plagiarism. But we don't get over that. Main Street Media is playing to the field. Each individual station is actually reporting news in view of somebody else's opinion. And you can see it. It's obvious. Fox News, conservative. MSNBC, ultra liberal. CNN, they have no freaking clue what they're doing. I swear, if I've seen Don Lemon or I've seen Anderson Cooper and I was walking down the street, I would hit them square in the freaking mouth just for general principle. And go to jail, and you know what? I don't even think the cops would arrest me going to jail. They'd be laughing and say, "Good shot, man. You couldn't hit him no harder than that." We're tired of the same crap over from every damn station. Report the news or become an entertainment channel and see how your numbers lacked in. Because I tell you what, there's a lot of people who would like the rut that they watch, okay, how to build their house or rebuild it, whatever, or home makeover, whatever, and watch Don Lemon or Anderson Cooper on the CNN. They learn more from watching it damn fix your house stuff. I saw yesterday, and it came out and got me round up, Kathleen Lee Griffin, she's just going to show a head of Trump being cut off with the blood and the whole nine, blood and the guts and all the glory. She hangs this up in front of the American people. She hangs it up in prime time during kids. Did anybody warn that this was going to be graphic? No. Did anybody tell your kids to leave the room? No. The American people got to see it in full force. From God and everybody. Now on this, I just want to ask you a question, okay? Who in their right mind? Who are you people that think this was a comedy or comedic? Who thinks that was funny? If you are, get the hell away from me. I don't want to be around you. You scare me. If you think that was funny, if you think holding somebody and representing or symbolizing somebody's head in your hand that you have just cut off with an instrument, people down in my area call you insane. But what do we know? And what was worse is she gets on the next day with some dead bird lawyer named Lisa. I don't even know who the hell she is. I just, when these lawyers and people come up, whoever they are, I don't know. And says that she was torn up by Trump, and Trump is out to get her, and her careers are going to be stopped because of Trump, and Trump is going to do this to her, and Trump's going to do that to her, and she's pissed off because they got a Secret Service investigation on her ass, and they've got people that are investigating this behavior, and she's all butthurt because the fact is, it's just me. I have the right to my First Amendment. Don't you think? But common people know, okay, the First Amendment, it has limitations. There's some things the good Lord taught you, what you just don't do, and that's one of them. Now, back in the day, 1800s or whatever. Yeah, they used to hang Lincoln. They hung people, by an infamy or whatever. Was that against the law? Yeah, they stopped that shit too. They started arresting people at why? For treason. I can't see anything that Kathy Griffin did that does not equal to treason. I can't believe, or I can't get anything through my thick head. The fact is that she was not making a point that it wasn't comedy. It was actually something that she wished that hoped it would happen to the president. How is this not like ISIS doing something on the TV? If ISIS would have done that, would we have done anything? No, we wouldn't have. And that's what's scary. Because of the fact is that we allow elites and other individuals that make more money than you do, have been taught all your life are better than you, and we allow them to get away with anything they damn sure want to because of their name and then have a certain status. A comedian can get away with showing Trump beheaded. Try that shit at your neighborhood. Try that. Go down the front. Go down Main Street. Try that shit. Better hope the cops get there before everybody else does, because I'm telling you this right now, either way it's going to go for you, it's going to go bad. So if you're elite and you can dunk a basketball, okay, or you can hit a golf ball, okay, or you can swim the ocean, or it does not make you an expert in politics, okay? Because you didn't finish college anyway, probably. Or if you did, nobody wants to know your major. So what makes you have the ability to speak out and say on national TV what your opinion is? Because honestly, sir, we don't care. You are an actor. You play a person in a movie. You are an actor. You are used to not being yourself. You are used to portraying another character. That's not you. Whatever character you play is you know what? We don't know how Superman, if he's a liberal or conservative or anti-liberal, whatever the hell they call it. We don't know. We didn't care. Should be the same way with actors. I don't know. I don't care. Made a good movie. Good. Go make another. Make it good, because that thing I got to pay $8. I got to pay $14.50 to get in here. And then I got to pay 8 kids for the kid in there. Make it a good movie, because I buy them off treats and everything. I'm down $200 in the hole. For you making a movie and bitching and complaining because you know what, the set was not right, or they didn't set your chair just right, or they interrupted you in the green room or whatever. I'll be like, you know what, damn, you can do whatever you want to. If I'm being paid $500,000 to come up there and show, pretend to be somebody else, you know what, I'll do anything you want me to do. I'll sit there and hold the damn chair. Hell, I'll help load up the camera after it's over. Mainstream media, elites, actors, athletes, stick to what you do best, okay? And shut the hell up. We don't care. To our American military right now, you are in a bad situation. It is called a FUBAR. I know that. For those of you who take offense to that, well, I am sorry, but that's the way I talk, because I am, okay, a retired Marine and a retired soldier. So I can really pretty much tell you exactly what they're saying right now on the front line, that this is a FUBAR. They are training for missions that is going to change no sooner as they sit on their boots on the ground, because the fact is the enemy is always watching what the Americans are doing in training. The American people are being spied on by the enemies of our nation who wants to hurt us, and they are actually training opposites so they can actually benefit from the battlefield. In other words, they can kick our ass because they know what we're going to do before we do it. NCOs, staff NCOs, squad leader, platoon sergeant, team leaders, train your people. Train your people, because the fact is you never know. But while you're there, you need to train, because the fact is, you know what, if you rely on anything else above command sergeant major, then you know what, you're going to be wrong. Because why? Because the officers all have attended some kind of school and marched for something, or something that has been implanted in their brain by a professor who's a liberal, or a professor who actually determines that he can and cannot teach based on his personal beliefs, instead of teaching the subject matter at hand. Train. Get better. Train some more. get as best as you possibly be and ask what if this happens, what if that happens, so you can train for something else that they're not training you in the book. Because our decisions come down from our military, they don't come down from our generals. There is no way, shape, or form our generals actually issue the order. And a matter of fact, you guys know it, because you know what? You can't even take a shot downrange into enemy territory with a guy that's shooting back at you till a politician at the Pentagon says it's okay. Now, what happens in the meantime while you're sitting there waiting? You can't call a timeout, say, hold on, I'm not shooting back, hold on. And by the time you get the word back from the Pentagon and says you can shoot, some bitch done run away. So the military, NCOs, enlisted, take care of yourself, take care of your people. Because at the end, that's all we're going to have. Because every officer that serves in the military today has political aspirations one way or the other. They would rather remain politically correct, and they would rather remain that they look good underneath their command and be able to decide what they can and cannot do so they can get medals. Because every medal they put on their chest is something they could put on their resume to make them more money. Realize that your officers are not going to be the best the best they can be or understand the situation until after 3 months under combat. Up until that time, your staff NCOs are the ones you follow, and the ones you trust, and the ones that leave you. In other words, you learn from the people who know. Don't count on an officer who just doesn't train because he's going to advanced scuba school. Officers don't even train with their men anymore. They want to be their buddies. I don't need no officer buddies. I don't want an officer as a buddy. I don't know what you know, and I don't care what you know, and I really don't care how you think about doing it. Just what are your orders, sir, so I can carry the hell on and get my job done. Go back in your freaking tent over there and sit there and call mom and do whatever. But leave me and my NCOs alone so we can get this damn thing done. Military's in a difficult spot right now because the fact is, it's like it or not, individual people. The fact of the matter is, you're over there serving. They don't understand the sacrifice that you're making. They don't understand that when you're on this threat type level, that you are actually in full combat mode 24 hours a day. You are on sleeping every 4 hours. This is all you can sleep. Your meals are determined based upon the threat. Your livelihood is based on the amount of the threat that's actually as of today. Can you take a shower? No, I can't, because I got to stand post for 16 hours. Can I eat? Maybe. If your buddy's well enough to go ahead and get you chow when he gets ready to go get chow. And that happens all the time. So military personnel, count on this. We here in America, these individuals, they don't care for you. They don't care what you represent. They are not going to take care of you when you get back, and they are going to wait for you to conform back to what they wanted to be for the person you would be that you were before you left. And you know as well as I do, you're not going to be able to flip that switch. Realize that when you get back home, the first thing you're going to think about after 3 months, and you partied your ass off 3 months, what you're thinking about next is, how can I go back? It's the only thing that makes sense to you. American people, do your job. I am so sick and tired of people sitting on the back porch bitching about the whole damn situation and ain't done a damn thing about it. Get up off your ass. If it's nothing, just make a YouTube video so you can actually put somebody out there and make them think about something. Do not hide your political beliefs. Do not hide your spiritual beliefs. Do not hide behind any damn thing, except for the fact is that you are the person that you are, and you are proud of you. And it don't make a damn if anybody else is proud of you or what they think about you, is that you are happy with yourself when you lay down at night. Participate in your kids' school. Go to school. Find out what they're learning. Find out the reason why they're not learning. Ask their teachers, because God knows we all come from a small town and we know all the teachers. Ask them, how's little Jimmy doing? Well, little Jimmy's doing bad. He's doing good in math, but he can't behave, can't sit down and shut up. And we'll piss ass when he gets home. When you go to that schoolhouse, you sit down and shut up. It's called discipline. It's a goddamn good thing we teach kids discipline right now, because guess what? When they get out in reality and the world slaps them square in the face, guess what? They're going to have to learn that, you know what? You're going to need a little discipline out here. Teach your kids what they need to learn right now, so whenever they get ready to go out into the real world, they are prepared, or ready as they can be. Stop buying them a game instead of giving them attention. Take some of your me time and spend with the kids. Talk to them. Throw a ball to them. I'll just sit there and talk to them, find out who they are, what they believe right now, who they are, what they believe, what's their goals, what do they want to do. Not what you want them to do. What are they looking at doing? But it starts right now with our kids, because the fact is the good Lord knows that the people that are here right now that are running and shit is went to pot. And the way we raised them, the way the people raised them back in the day is not right. It's wrong. We have been through the generation of baby boomers that have gotten everything that they want instead of what they need. Because their parents believe that, you know what, they deserve it. He went to the store today and he didn't jump out of the basket. So you know what? You get to have a snow cone because you didn't jump out of the basket. Meanwhile, in aisle 3, he's done tore out all the damn cereal down the aisle over there. But you know what? He didn't go doing that. But guess what? He got some ice cream. So what did you learn? Well, I can knock down shit when she ain't watching. Teach your kids. Don't let the world teach them. Live under the law, not the law of the jungle. Pick your Bible up every once in a while. And remember that where you're at right now was conformed and was conceived out of the fact is that we wanted to have one God. We wanted to be able to be religious in one area. And we didn't force that religion through government on anybody else. You get to make that decision where you go down there and pray. You get to make the decision where you want to pray. You get to make the decision how you want to lead your spiritual life. The government's not telling you how to. Or shouldn't. But tell me you believe with the fact that a church can actually tell you if you can and cannot put up a manger. Tell me that you can't. Tell me that it's not right that you can go ahead and tell a kid that, you know what, you have to have a certain amount of credits in the Islam religion before you can graduate. If they're that interested in schools that interested, won't you just make it an elective? And they want to take it, they can take it. I'll make it required. If you're a Methodist and I go down there and I tell you, you know what, everybody here before you graduate has got to go through and learn the Baptist religion. How much hell would we raise then? But no. We are sick and tired, and we're sitting back, and what we're doing is the fact is that it all comes down to one fact. We do not want confrontation. We are scared of what may come. We are scared of actually stepping in that ant pile. Because they know the man's going to come out by the millions. We would much rather sit back and take shit and actually let individuals get away with this and abuse our rights. And God forbid we stand up and we do something or we say something. We can argue points to where everything is always coming up roses. We can argue and we can actually say and we can prove points that are false that say that, you know what, everything is yoky dokie and everything is okay. Just read your local newspaper. We talk about the garden club. We talk about the historical club. We talk every damn thing is what's bothering with our city. What matters. And that happens all the way around in every small town. Because we're used to slaying back and letting things go and saying, you know what, it's okay. I don't want to have to do any work or whatever, but I'm doing my duty as a citizen. It is your responsibility as a citizen to get involved into your community. It is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to find out what your kids are learning, how they're learning, and who's teaching it. It's your responsibility for you to actually find out who's preaching, who's doing the preaching, how they're preaching it, and where they were before they actually started preaching. Did they have anything to do with going to school, learning how to be a preacher? If not, guess what? You can go around the table. You know, I'm preaching today, you preach next. Tomorrow you're going to preach, tomorrow you're going to preach. Is that the way we work it now? It might be better than what we got now. But the whole shebang comes down to one thing, and that is how we were going to react. And the issue is, the fact is that where we come up with our government is doing things because the fact is we can let them get away with it. We have the attitude that we can't fix it. We're only one voice. We can only do so much. They're not going to listen to us. They're going to do what they're going to do anyway, and there's nothing we can do, and we're beat up, and we're banged up, and we're scared to get back up and dust ourselves off because we figure we're going to get knocked down again by the government because you can't beat the government, for God's sakes. They'll get into your account, they'll get in the IRS, will get on you, oh, blah, 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 blah. Yes, they will. So how long are we going to sit back and take it, let them do that, or have the opportunity to do that? We're going to let them. I get you a little tidbit here too, because the fact is, during martial law is declared, and it will be prevailed by the National Guard, who will be performing this, supposedly, but they will be augmented by the Army, Navy, Marine, Air Force, those people. And during martial law, guess what? Your cell phone's going to go, your ATM, $200 in 24 to 48 hours. That's all you can get. Because you think the government's prepared for it? No. Look at Katrina. Get your head out of the sand and look and see what's going on around you and pay attention. MSM is doing this on purpose to keep you confused as hell, because you don't know, and you get to thinking and you're like, shit, I don't even know, and I don't care no more. We need to start paying attention. Find out where you can find information that's true and correct, and report on it, and then start asking yourself why and start doing something about it. Because I asked you this question the same way I asked myself. If I get into a situation, or there's a situation that happens around me, my wife, my family, my kids, especially my oldest one now, not my oldest one, but the next one I just found out, I ain't met her yet, by God, please tell me nothing happens to her. But if there's a situation that goes on or whatever, I'm going to protect my kids first. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run and I'm going to start trying to help somebody else. Please tell me you're willing to do that. Please tell me, even though you don't have a medical certificate and anything or whatever, but you know what, you respect the fact is, you know what, there is a law that says you must stop and protect people, or try to. You may not know what you're doing, but you know what, the fact of the matter is that sometimes you don't have to do anything except for talk to them and keep them out of shot, till they can get to where they can get some help. More advanced people be slapping tourniquets, more advanced people doing whatever, based on your knowledge. Or a CPR course you may have taken. But at that point in time, when there's something going on and something happens to you or your loved ones or around you in your small towns, you didn't think it was going to happen. They're going to be people that run away. They're going to be people that just get scared and they run away. I saw in Manchester, you know what, the fact of the matter is that, hey, when that thing blew up, people running. There's 12, 15-year-old kids, girls running, and men are running over the top of them, trying to get out of the way faster, instead of helping these little girls and getting them out of there. Run over the top of them. Do that crap when you're around me. It goes back to the basic principles. You know what? You be a man, you be a lady, and guess what? You'll be treated as such. However, the fact is, be a good enough individual to recognize when somebody else needs help, and by God, sit down and take the time to help them. It's called a community. It's talking about something else that's going to benefit the entire country instead of what it's going to benefit for me. What's in it for me, 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 me. Who was it? John F. Kennedy said, ask not what you can do, what the country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Now, I kind of believe that, because if I'm doing something for my country and I'm making it a better place, it's going to be a happier place for everybody. Part of my job, protect and defend the United States. I went and sacrificed a lot of things. I missed a lot out on my kids, and I could have met them a lot earlier. I could have done a lot of things for my kids at the whole 9 yards, but the fact of the matter is, I was always on duty. And it's my sick and my warped head. I thought, you know what, as long as I'm out here doing this, I'm providing them something that they will look forward to in the future. And one day, they will look up and say, yes, this is what he did for me. But that all comes in time. But the fact is that do something that you're proud of, that you actually contributed to your community or your or the school, or something that actually helps other people out, instead of worrying all the time how you can benefit from a situation. Meet a person and really care who they are, and not care how much you can use them or get something out of them. Meet a man at the church who has got a local business, and when he goes by there, everybody in the church expects him to do it for free. You're the one that stands up and say, no, sir, I don't take no charity from you, sir. I will pay you back. I'm paying you right now. I'll pay you a little bit more just to make up for the people at the church that are all sanctified and dignified, that don't think that they don't have to pay you. They don't have to think that that's their responsibility too. We are scared, and we're too stupid to know that we're scared. because we don't know what to be scared about. I had a guy tell me the other day when I was drinking. It was back a while, but anyway, I was sitting there drinking with this fella, and he told me, he said, you know what? He said, where you coming from? I said, I'm coming from Afghanistan. You know, after a couple of beers, he said, Afghanistan. I said, yeah, because nobody cares. Nobody cares. Okay. Well, that's the attitude that I have right now. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares what you went through, how you went through it, who you went through, who you saw go through it, or what the hell ever it is. No one cares. I asked for veterans to stand up and say, you know what? We know that the world is not going to fix us. The United States of America was reneged on their bargain. In your oath, the oath says you will protect and defend the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And on the dotted line side of that, it says the government will provide you help, whatever help you need. If you are wounded in combat, we will help you out when you get here, and that is bullshit. So bet you stop relying on the damn government to fix us, because it ain't going to happen. We need to band together. We need to become a united force, and we need to stand up and do something against these assholes that won't even get off the damn pot. Bitching on their backyard and saying, that's a shame about veterans. We need to do our job, and we need to do it better. We need to do our job and do it better so we can help everybody out, not just a select few. When everybody gets a piece of the pie, if there's no one person that determines how big that pie is or how the piece of the pie you get, it's determined on how much you earn, and how much you actually do for America, and how much you contribute, and what you earn, and what you contribute to America, and then what size pie it is. Now this video you may like it, you may not. You know what? You might just want to whoop my ass. I don't care. Come try. I got 3 weapons and I got four German Shepherds, and if you can get past that, you know what? You deserve to have my house and the whole 9 yards. But how many of you will sit there and say, you know what, the asshole's crazy, and you know what, I don't agree with what he says, and pass along to somebody say, you know, look at how crazy a son of a bitch is. This is what we're talking about. These type of people. Or how many of you look at it and actually share it with somebody and say, you know what, this guy's got a good point. Don't agree with everything he says, but you know what, there's some things you need to start listening to. How many of you will do that and actually listen to something somebody else has to say without thinking about what you're going to say next? How many of you are going to actually listen to other points that other people have who say they've got a broad mind but don't practice it? How long are we going to judge other people by the color of their skin, their creed, their religion, whatever else you observe, aliens, Jupiter, Mars, whatever, I don't know what else you are prejudiced against, but whatever it is, get the hell over it. Because we're fighting amongst ourselves when we should be fighting against a common enemy, and that enemy has been identified, and they identified to it, whether you want to admit it or not, that they are here to kill Christians. And if you're a Christian, by God, that is fighting words. And I take shame in any individuals who listen to somebody say that we're here out to kill Christians and think that there's something okay with that. What if somebody said that in your hometown that they're going to come out and kill your kids? Would you take it a little bit more serious then? Would you take it with a little bit more attention? Would you derive from the information that's coming in from around you with incidents happening all around the world based on what they have said that they want to take over the world, and they're doing it in front of your face, and you still do not admit to it? You still are too lame to look up the facts and see what they're actually preaching and what they've actually done to us. Does it bother you at all that an individual is targeting innocent teens, innocent teen girls who for the first time got out and got to go to a concert, and were so excited about going to a concert they didn't even think for a second anything like this would happen to them? And they targeted kids. If you don't believe that, the very next day they targeted a dad-burned ice cream shop. Didn't know that, did you? We don't know shit because we do not want to know shit, because we don't want to look it up, and we don't want to hear bad news. All we want to hear about is the good things, but we don't want to have to deal or come to believe that something might happen bad to us. I live in Huntington, ain't nothing going to happen here. Okay. What if it does? Most of you guys have people that live in a small town, but guess what? They work in a bigger town. If you're from where I am, guess what? Most people I know work in the pipeline or work in the oil field or work in the refinery. Do you think it's not a target? Just because you live in Evadale don't mean that your husband ain't he's safe because he's from Evadale when he's working in Beaumont. Don't mean he's safe. So you do what you want to. Listen to it. You already turned me off. I don't care. But this is what needs to be said, and this is what people need to start be thinking, because the fact is that we don't think we're going to get ass handed to us on a silver platter. And we ain't got nobody to blame but ourselves. If you were Antifa, good, let me find you. Let me see who you are. Take the mask off. It ain't a threat, it's a promise. If you want to fight somebody else, I call my brother, because the fact is that he has a certain degree of beliefs that you don't believe in, and you want to do physical harm to that individual, guess what? You guys have done the dog in the fight. Because it's noble and it is right to actually fight for something that you believe in and somebody who's actually being repressed. If you walk through a mall, or you walk through a parking lot, or you walk anywhere and you see a woman in distress in any way, shape, form, or fashion, by getting raped, by getting beaten, by being taught, or actually Sharia law going off on this individual, it is your responsibility to stop it. Especially as a man. You need to sit back and think about situations where, you know what, when is it time for me to stand, and when is it time for me to get off the fence, and when is it time for me to say something, you know what, that I believe in. And not just set up, because the fact is I don't think everybody will like or don't like my opinion because I believe this way. I believe that I beat a lot of people out there that, you know what, may not agree with what I say, may not agree with things people say that I look up to, may not look, they may not look up to or the respect or anything. But the fact is they know where I stand. And that to me is one thing that I can always judge in a man that I hold highly, because the fact is I may not like the way you think. I may not like the way you do things. I may not like how you wear your cowboy hat. But I do respect you. And I know where you're coming from. And that's more than you can say about a lot of people around here in this United States right now. It's time to grow the hell up. It's time to wake up. It's trying to do your job and expect others to do theirs. And if they're not, call them on it. There is a way to do that, and you can find out just by doing research on a computer. Hell, if I can do it, anybody can do it. My name's Steve. They call me Wolfpack because I have a Wolfpack. And I have a family that's worth defending. And I did go and I did defend that family, and I still believe today it's right. It's worth defending. That's where you'll find me. I won't be running around running over girls. You won't hide me in a corner. You won't find me in a safe place. You won't find me walking around saying that my feelings been hurt, or that I have got to have sensibility, because the fact is that I have been so misused or abused in my life because of the fact that I believe this way. You will not find me there. I will not complain. I will not back down from what I believe in or what I actually will fight for. Call that crazy, call that stupid. I know it's not a notion that a lot of people don't even agree with. But I'm a dinosaur, like what Hank Williams said. I'm a dinosaur. I should have died out a long time ago. Because if I don't stand up, my Marine buddies don't stand up. Army buddies don't stand up. If we don't stand up and take this fight to the enemy, who will? Who will? You?